Good morning and welcome to Daily Miles. Before we get started, smash that like button down below. Definitely helps out the channel. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button for more content. All right, let's get into today's episode. So in today's episode, I'm going to introduce you to this gentleman, and you are?
Drake.
Hello, Drake. I'm going to hand Drake my key, and guess what he's going to do? He's going to open my hood. And then Drake is going to replace my water pump, my serpentine thingy, and the thermostat and the tensioner. Basically, Drake is doing all the work. He is going to swear profusely several times. This is not an easy job, kiddies. This is a definitely a nail biter, mostly because of how much work has to go into getting rid of this, in order to get down to this toy right there. I don't know if you can see that right there. In order to get to that toy right there. That is a motherfucker. I know, I did that work with Larry in Missouri. It is a monster amount of fucking work. Drake's hooking me up. Let's get started. The parts were $87. Crazy. Here. New thermostat. New water pump. And some antifreeze. Does not get into $2,400. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, let's hand this off to Drake and go install this shit. What do you think? I think you have everything you need.
I think so. Here. Wrap this way.
He's removing the motor mount, and the engine is currently sitting on the bottom of the jack at this point. And the whole reason why he's removing the motor mount is so that he has clear access to that pump right there. So he's released the tensioner, and we're now taking out the serpentine belt. There's my serpentine belt, which should be in somewhat good condition-ish.
Yeah, after a good cleanup, and I got some belt dressing on there.
Okay.
Bring some new life into it. Keep it facing that way. Yeah.
Larry, in case you're watching, yes, in case you're watching, yes, we did note where the what top dead center was on the belt, just in case you're watching. I'm going, Miles, did you? Yes, I did, Larry. So our next task, or his next task, Drake's next task, is to get this pump out. And I'm thinking to myself, Miles, you are batshit crazy as to how that fucker is going to come out of there. If you're thinking what I'm thinking, which is not going to happen, watch some magic.
First, we got to take the pulley off so we have access to everything else. But I do want to find a way to lock here. See this? Go. I'm trying to get this on.
Yeah, we got a snap.
I need to come down a little more.
Tell me where you want
I
it.
have it to like right here.
You got her?
There we go. This piece of shit.
I mean, you can wedge a bar in there too, but you know, just stick the handle in there.
So he's trying to take out the three bolts that are sitting on top of the water pump, and the water pumps, those 3 bolts are wanting to spin freely.
Yep. Quick,
Almost got it.
Make sure you
And
don't
there's
break.
a lot of arms in the way. Can't see a goddamn
No, you're against the thing. Let me get a broke.
Can't see a goddamn thing.
Yeah. Don't even bother.
And there's my new water pump. Wow. Okay. Drake is currently extracting the old one, which seems to be a little corroded.
Oh yeah, I love taking out bolts to get to other bolts.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it's kind of counterproductive.
You think? So I guess he loosened it, and it's leaking whatever the fuck it's leaking all over the goddamn place. What is it leaking?
Well, it's your water pump, so it's going to be doing your water or antifreeze or whatever.
So it's loosened.
Yep.
He got it loosened.
A little pop should take care of her from here. Up on it instead of down.
There it goes. Hello. Game on. Got a little. There it is.
Son of a bitch. All that in there?
Yep.
See that? It's just called electrolysis. We really want to take some emery cloth and clean it out of this piece really, really good. Also, where the fuck's the gasket? No gasket.
There's no no, the gasket's right there.
That's the O-ring.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it is RTV. Fuck, I mean, that's really fun to scrape out. And this is really where you can test how the fluid looks down here. That's not bad. It's good. But, oh yeah, I can feel it. Here, this is where you can feel the movement. Ever so slight movement.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, you probably won't be able to catch it on camera.
Yeah,
It's such a small movement.
Okay, let's try that
Between
one.
this.
What
Yeah,
am
you'll be able to feel it with both
I
hands. there.
can't.
I see
You
it.
hold that.
Yes, I'll hold the housing here.
Okay,
and
so-
just give a good wiggle on that.
What am
You
I
feel
wiggling?
that little movement at all? There's just a teeny weeny bit of movement.
Mm-mm.
There should be. You don't feel that?
No.
The back and forth, the click, 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 click.
No, I got nothing. Sure.
Yeah.
So what he's doing right now is he's cut up some
Scotch-Brite.
Scotch-Brite, and he's cleaning out the surfaces of where the where the O-ring is, so that it's a nice clean surface.
Always feel the O-ring. Sometimes you see that mark there from the casting mark. Sometimes they can have a little extra material on there, and that will make your seal no good. So just take your finger and feel around on it.
O-ring. No,
Yeah, it's just so it doesn't pinch when you put it in.
yeah, or roll.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
Now, which way's top, which way's bottom? I believe it's this
Really?
way. I
Really?
don't do these transits that often, man. This is like my 3rd one ever. And they're not fun. I know that. And you'll know if it's crooked, like see I don't have it in all the way. If you can't spin this nice and free, like see it stops right there, you know it's not in there straight yet. Way around without feeling any resistance. Then you know it's on there straight. Because the tolerances are pretty low enough to where
What is he talking about? Properly, when that thingy right there can spin freely. And now a word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Falcon Internet. Falcon Internet has been hosting my website, my databases, my applications, and my box for the better portion of 10 years. So if you need an application built, you need it hosted, you need a website built and hosted, you need a database built and hosted, Falcon Internet is your toy. Go look him up and he will hook you up. Link down below in the description. And now back to today's video. Now Drake has put the cover back on. Now he's just putting in the final screws. What are you doing there?
Thread locker.
What's that?
Locks the threads so vibrations can't take them out. Just going 60 miles an hour down the interstate, that's usually about the most perfect time it chooses to come up.
So now we have to put the belt back on. That's this tiny little toy. Now mind you, we left it right there, but Drake's father, that would be Jim, you moved the fucking belt. So we gotta move the belt, find the belt in its proper direction, please. We did put a mark on it, yeah. That doesn't tell us which direction it ran in. All right. You want that direction. Oops, sorry. You want it in that way.
Hold that top there, piece there. Oh, of course. Nice and dirty. Should come up around here first.
So the hard part of getting the serpentine belt back on was not that difficult. Now we're just tightening up the water pump's bolts.
Not much smoother. Yeah, so see once it's on here, because I don't want to move it too much from that side. It's all about getting it straight. You know, most mechanics, you know, they always have missing screws at the end of it. Me, I always give the extra.
No. So here's a cute little side tip about Miles. My mother used to call me Mr. Fix-It. And the reason she called me Mr. Fix-It is because when I finished fixing something, it never worked again. I usually had a screw I had one too many screws. Hence the Mr. Fix-It.
This is a neat little tool. It was also one of my favorites.
What is that? I've never seen it before.
It actually takes these clips off perfectly.
Dude.
I don't know if you ever had anyone there, they know the pliers trick, right?
Yeah.
Well, that shit sucks. No one wants to use pliers on these because you always let it slip and but this, you put it on there anywhere, don't matter.
And it holds it oh my God.
And you just lock it, I can walk away from it all day long.
Ah!
Take the whole clip
That
off.
is a dream.
Yes. One of my favorite.
Larry, wish you had one of those.
Yes, one of my favorite tools of all time. Makes this a breeze.
Oh my God, that's so much easier. And you just release it, just like that. And bam! Dude, that is so much easier. So, my next question to Drake is, what's our next step? And I'll just let him explain it.
We got everything up here. Right now I need to just put the last bottom hose on because the pitcock wouldn't open to drain the full fluid. So I had to pop open the bottom tube on here to let it just dump out. I'm gonna put that back in and then we're gonna fill it with fluid, let it sit for just a couple minutes, let any air that it can get out by itself. Then we're gonna go ahead and actually start the car and let it do a few or full cycles of opening and closing to get all the air out. It's called burping.
Okay.
But what it does is every time it opens, it lets the extra air come up, and the puke tank is always the highest point, so any air is going to come up into it.
Yeah.
So you just keep the cap off while you do it, and you'll be good. I want to show everyone how terrible I am at pouring this stuff, or what?
Absolutely.
Chug, 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 chug. There's a little cheater method here. Oh, well, you can pump it with your hand, like it's a heart. Hear all that? That's just water or air escaping. Just gallon. We'll probably need another gallon and a half. Alrighty, now once it stops lowering in here, obviously we'll take a lot more in there. But now it's the point where we just sit here and I'll go down there and I'll hand pump, get as much air out as I can manually. And then in about 2 or 3 minutes, when we think it's done enough by itself, we'll actually start it and do a few open and close cycles on the thermostat.
So we're gonna start her up and hopefully nothing nasty happens. Here we go. It's not whining anymore, so that's a good thing. It's not whining anymore, so that's a good thing.
Yep, I'm also gonna go get some belt. Yeah, the whining was more than likely the bearing actually making the squeaky noise.
So we turned on the heater, and that should speed things up just a little bit. So we want the temperature right to here, right up to midpoint. I don't know if you can hear this or not, so I'm going to try and make this as quiet as possible. So usually when I'm driving along, or when I'm having the vehicle idle like it is now, what usually happens is it's stuttering constantly. And this is the first time that since I've owned the damn thing that it's actually been purring like a goddamn kitten. And on top of all of that, my RPMs are holding steady at about 900 RPMs. This is insane. That tiny little problem, that water pump, caused all that fucking damage. All said and done, did not need to change out the thermostat, so I have a brand new thermostat that I'll never use, hopefully never, at least hopefully never. Basically, the water pump was toast, and it took us, well, mostly Drake, but the better portion of the day to install it, take it apart and install it and put it back in. And for the most part, it is purring like a fucking kitten. It's never done this before.
For about 2.5 hours of actual labor.
Wow.
Minus one looking for tools
and whatnot. Yeah. Nonetheless, I think that is enough for today. So I just want to say thank you very much to Drake. Absolutely. He is a dream come true as far as mechanics go. He's smart, sharp, quick, and on top of all that, loads of fun to hang out with. And this is not his day job. His day job is, why don't you tell folks what your day job is?
I'm an engineer. I build electric motors.
And he can't tell you what he builds electric motors for, so no. Let's leave it right there. Anyways, so I just want to say thank you very much to Drake. Thank you very much to Jim, his father, because without it, I would have been stuck on the side of the road, pushing up the daisies going, what happened? Especially to the tune of $2,400, which is what Ford wanted to make my engine run. So thank you very much to Drake. Thank you very much to Jim. And I look forward to seeing you kitties on the next Daily Miles. Before I go, remember to hit that like button. While right next to that is the subscribe button. Thanks very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next Daily Miles.